Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an episode of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I am Kate Cosmic.
Today, my friend, we missed last week, but today we are back this week to talk about Modern Warfare 2. And what a launch it's had so far. A lot of polarizing things have happened, a lot of controversy. There's just a lot of I don't even know how to describe this chaos, this machination of just pure uncertainty and distrust. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Whatever word you'd use to describe the UI, use that word.
Terrible.
Awful.
Okay. Well, I guess we're using that word. Also, before we get started, I'm not sure why my camera is moving at like 1 frame a second. I tried fixing it before the episode, turning it off and on again, weird. Whatever. But
it looks okay at my end.
On my end, I'm like I'm moving pretty slowly for some reason. So you know what? The podcast is all about listening to it anyway.
It's all about
right?
the audio.
You know, they say that I have a face for radio anyways. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this started. So the launch of Modern Warfare 2. Obviously we talked about the campaign. We know what the campaign's all about. The multiplayer, one of the big highlights of the multiplayer recently, recently because the game just came out, is everyone racing to get Orion camo. Everyone racing to get the polyatomic camo. And I'm definitely in the minority when I say this. I don't even think Orion looks super great. Like,
so I think it looks good when it's moving like 300 times the base speed. Because, like, even at the state where you get it now, it looks like it's just staying still. It looks like something you'd get in the,
like the Black Ops 3 Black Market.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like that, right? You know, it doesn't look awful, but it doesn't look like a mastery camo. But when you move it at, like, 300%, then it doesn't look too bad. I feel like just, like, some of the compared to gold.
I'll take gold any day.
Yeah, I think gold just looks so nice. And so many of like the base camos.
And platinum. I'll take platinum any day too, actually.
Or even like Spectrum. You know, a lot of like even the base. Fuck's sake.
Well, there goes.
I paused it.
Well, there you go. I mean, hey, look, if the Orion camo is patched to move a little bit faster, and it might look a little bit better. I mean, I don't know, man. To me, when I look at the Orion camo, my first thought is, man, this is like a cut Revelations Pack-a-Punch camo or something.
Yeah, but they decided it doesn't look that great.
Like, I would honestly take like the green and the blue like Revelations Pack-a-Punch camos over Orion. I'm not even kidding. And then Polyatomic by itself is basically just DM Ultra, but there's polygons on it and there's edges, and it's like, I think, okay, whatever, but gold and platinum are better, I think.
I think the variety of camos in the game itself is great. I love the challenges. I think like they all look really good. I just think on Orion they just haven't hit the mark, but I think they will. I think they'll try and make changes in that to it just to make it a little bit more like, I don't know, like it
more animated, like, more
worthwhile. Make it like feel like a mastery camo, because at the moment it feels like something you get from the Black Ops 3 market because it moves so slow. No, I mean, I don't even know if I'll ever get it. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy the game. I'm gonna go for the camos I like. I'm sitting here like, oh, this looks awful. I've not actually seen it because I haven't earned it or whatever, right? But like, just the way it looks, I wouldn't feel encouraged to absolutely go grinding for this camo. I'd rather just go for Spectrum for all my weapons because that's the best camo ever made.
Like, you know, here's the thing with me, man. Like, when it comes to the camo grind in this game, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get gold on weapons that I enjoy. You know, I don't think I'm gonna go for Orion. I'm working on a video right now. I got gold on the Bryson shotgun the other day, and hey, you know what? That's a gun I had fun with. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make a video about it, because if I have fun, I'm going to have fun and I'm going to post about it. But I think and I mentioned this in a previous video, and I think a lot of you guys know which video I'm referring to here, but the camo grind this year has been toned down a little bit, where there's only 4 base camos to earn per weapon, and then you have the gold challenge, so technically 5 challenges, but they're not like hard challenges at all. But the grind is, that kind of camo grind is replaced with the attachment grind now, which arguably is worse, because I feel like a lot of these attachments, to me, it just, when they were first detailing the gunsmith and they were first detailing how all this works, oh, specific guns have specific attachments, and then you can use those attachments for everything. Like, oh, okay, that sounded cool. But then what I didn't realize is that it's like every single gun is, how do I describe it? Every single gun has unique attachments, and there are no universal attachments. Like, you have to use this gun to get this attachment, but then you can use that attachment on everything once you get it. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is like, there's no like cross attachment system that makes it so that it doesn't matter which gun I use, you know, and I kind of feel like that should have been the whole point of this system, where it wouldn't have mattered what gun I use, as long as I get to like a level to get that attachment. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess to maybe try to make it more concise, for example, like the weapon platforms, like the M4, you have so many different receivers you can put on that. And I think where they dropped the ball here is they dropped the ball on having one universal level stream, instead of, oh, you have to level up each individual receiver. I think it should have been, you know, the M4 has so many levels, and then every like 10 levels you get a new receiver. That way you still have kind of the original attachment kind of system, while you have something new and you still get the new guns. This system is like, it's kind of forcing you to use these guns even when you don't want to use these guns, and then you're forced to play a way you don't want to play in order to get all these attachments that you want to use. And so to me, it kind of misses the mark a bit, and this system turned out to be something that I didn't think it was going to be, and it's kind of clunky. And I'm a little disappointed that this is how it ended up being. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, you know, you can get all these attachments, and you can, you know, you can use all these attachments for across all these weapons, but I didn't expect it to be this, just, I don't know, clunky. It just feels weird in practice. It feels weird.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can get that. I've seen some people complain about like how you have to use some weapons to do other stuff on weapons, and like how like it's a bit awkward, because I mean, you'd think that to unlock stuff on a certain weapon, or even unlocking a certain weapon itself, you would like use that weapon. You know what I mean? To like unlock everything on it and stuff. I mean, the past week I've been kind of busy. I'm off until the 25th now, so I have like a bunch of time off where I'm probably just gonna like you know, actually play the game and stuff.
There you go.
I mean, I have my M4. I have my M4. That's the only gun I need. That's the only gun I need. I don't need the AK.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
This without my gun, I am nothing. My gun without me is nothing.
Got your freaking what do they used to call muskets back in the day? It was a British nickname for the muskets, the Brown Bessie or something like that. You got your wife away from home there, your standard issue rifle. It was something like that. I forgot the actual name, but I mean, hey, the M4 is pretty good in the game. I just, you know, it just takes a while to get anything done, and I think that's another problem that recent Call of Duty games have had, you know, Vanguard especially. And I feel like they tried to learn from Vanguard. Like, they tried to say, hey, look, Vanguard's weapon levels are up to level 70. Look, our weapon levels are in the 20s and 30s, which inherently isn't a bad thing. But the way they made the game and the way they put it together, it's forcing you to use guns for the sake of using those guns instead of
It's trying to
encouraging
get
people to use the guns in their own volition. You know,
yeah,
it's
they're trying to
forcing
get
you
people to
to
use all the guns
play
in
the
game.
game for longer periods of time.
Yeah.
And that's all they want at the end of the day, is for you to sit there and play the game, and then they can brag about how long people are playing the game, and oh wow, more people are playing Modern Warfare 2 than ever before in Call of Duty. And it's like, yeah, no shit, when you give people way too much to do,
Do you want to know
that's
something?
gonna happen. What?
I think it's like really like astounding how much marketing can do for a game. Well,
Right.
obviously, Modern Warfare 2, big name already, came out in 2009, so people are pretty excited for this one.
Yeah.
800 million it made. Like,
It's insane.
the best-selling Call of Duty game ever, right?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, right? People are like, what's it? Like game devs, like, well, why don't game devs and why don't like gaming companies release finished games with all the content on it?
They don't
And you
have
have
to.
Modern Warfare 2 with like half the game mode stripped, half the basic functionality of like every other COD game taken away,
Yeah.
and it makes 800 million. I mean, the game's good at the core. It's a good game. It's just the fact that it kind of like shows that,
They just made poor decisions.
yeah, like, and the thing is, it's not like that stuff isn't in the game, because it is. There's ways to access it, like leaderboards and things like that. You can there's like just like the firing range and the beta, which we weren't supposed to get to, or not the beta, the campaign even. There's ways to get the leaderboard and stuff to work. It's just not in the game.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
And
it's
I mean,
it's
hardcore as
crazy.
well. Hardcore as well. Hardcore is in the game already. You can play it in the tier 1. You can play it in the custom
Tier
games.
1.
Tier
So,
1, because the name hardcore is just like, nah.
the
Nah,
name
let's call it
hardcore
tier.
is too scary for
It's
all
too
of
scary.
the people out there
All
that are
the little Timmies.
intimidated. Tier 1, that way it sounds positive, and you're like a tier
Tier
1 player, and we're gonna convince
Listen,
everybody that spending hours on the game and being an
I want
MLG pro is the way to go.
I won't know what tier 2 is.
Dude, tier
Oh,
2 is gonna be fucking
tier
pubs,
tier
I
tier
guess.
tier free pack a punch.
Tier 3.
That's all I'm saying.
That's
That's
what
all
I
I'm
want.
saying. Tier
That's what
free
I
pack
want.
a
I'm gonna go
punch.
back to Cold War. I'm gonna get tier 3 Pack-a-Punch on my XM4, and I'll show up at the M4 any day with that.
So like, yeah, like I don't know. I think the multiplayer Modern Warfare 2, we'll discuss all the other issues. Just like me thinking on top of my head,
Mhm.
I like it. I think it's better than Vanguard, and I don't think it's just a honeymoon phase. I think the name
True.
and staple of Modern Warfare 2 and the maps and maps for the most part, and guns, I enjoy the game more. Is it
Mhm.
because it's a modern theme? Possibly. I don't really like World War II shooters. I think they're very oversaturated for like in a 5-year period, because you had World War II, you had Battlefield 1, World War 1, right? But kind of, similar era, right? And then you
Older
had
era shooters.
yeah, and then you had like Battlefield 5, and then you had Vanguard,
Right.
and blah 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 blah. I'll still hold Vanguard to this. It did better than Battlefield 2042, which was going to be the
Which is
COD killer.
amazing to just think about in retrospect.
So Vanguard might not be the greatest game in the world, but it still did that. So props to you, Vanguard. Well done. But nah, I mean, yeah, I think Modern Warfare 2 it's gonna be a very successful game, but does it mean it's gonna be one of the greatest? I know a lot of people are saying it's like in the top 5, and I think that's a lot of like honeymoon phase stuff. Again, I don't think it's bad. Like I enjoy the game, but like I don't think I've played it enough to really like set in stone. There are things that annoy me.
Mhm.
I love how when a UAV comes out, everyone starts to fucking move.
I know, right?
The UAV at this point just put it up constantly so people actually move about the map. But
Yeah.
there's other things for like, like Ghost and all the things that kind of plague Modern Warfare 2019 that are in this game. The fact there's people that just won't move. The fact people will sit in corners because they'll win the gunfights.
And the fact that most of these maps cater to that kind of style of gameplay, just
Yeah, pretty
absolute
much.
zombie, just
And
don't even think about it playing the game.
like the fact that everything that you could do to try and stay hidden from other players and actually move around, it some way it's like it can counter it. Like with
Right.
Ghost, if you shoot your gun, you pop up on the little radar thing that you can pull out. And it's like, well, I'm not invisible to anything. Because Ghost in this one, because I know Black Ops games, they do it differently, where you have to be moving for Ghost to work. But
Right.
I think in Modern Warfare 2, I think it just works automatically once you get it. But like, you can be detected on some things with Ghost still. And I mean, I said it before, everyone knows about it, everyone's complaining about it. Suppressors and mini maps, the fact that you pop up. I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's annoying.
I mean,
But
at the end of the day, man, it just shows that there's just so much inconsistency and borderline
they've
incompetence that they
ever
really
since
don't know what they want to do with this game.
ever since Modern Warfare 2019, they've wanted to get rid of that map. They don't want the
Yeah.
mini map in the game, but they know they can't take it away because people will be too upset. That's like the reason it's there. But the thing is, right, the mini map is so important because it just helps you understand the game.
Right.
If you know what you're doing, it can make a total difference.
Of
And I
course.
think the maps in like Modern Warfare 2019 and like Modern Warfare 2 to certain maybe some maps, right? I think the maps in Modern Warfare 2 are much better than ones in Modern Warfare 19. But like, let's say Modern Warfare 19 for example, right? I wouldn't remember the fucking maps at all if I didn't have that little mini map to guide me into the
Mm,
ways I had to go.
yeah.
I just wouldn't because they're so big and like I just wouldn't. I probably wouldn't remember them,
Well, why
right?
would you need to memorize the maps and memorize the layouts
When I
when you
stay
can just
still.
sit in a corner and
That's true.
not memorize it? I mean,
That's true.
hunker
That
down, bucko, and
get my claymores, get my 7.25 whatever shotgun,
oh, yeah.
sit down and have a good time.
Hmm.
I love how when I use Dead Silence, it goes like you walk out the
It
store, but it
goes
has a tag.
boop.
It has like a tag on it. Like you walk out like a shop or whatever that has a
Oh
tag and
yeah.
the thing's going beep beep. Beep. It's like that, and the whole map can hear me. It's like, yep, he's using Dead Silence.
Crazy. I mean, it's really, really crazy. All these
It's
just
it's
weird
such good
decisions they've made in this
such good
game, man.
innovation. Um,
Like,
I
I don't know.
I
Just
don't know. I feel like with all the bad, there is like good stuff still. Like I enjoy the new game modes. I think Prisoner Rescue is fun. I
yeah.
enjoy Invasion, even though it's just because I get to shoot bots. I what can I say? It's easy. That's why I like it. I can just sit back and relax and get like actual XP for my guns and stuff.
The
Um,
thing that I don't like about Invasion, just personally, is that when you die, you go like way far back, and half the time you're running a marathon playing the game mode.
yeah,
So that's the only thing that I don't like about it. But yeah, I mean, I think the two, well, yeah, we'll say two. Well, the two best things about Modern Warfare 2 for me are how the guns feel. Like it's fun to
yes,
shoot somebody in Modern Warfare 2. Like the guns play really nice. They sound nice.
they look nice.
It's
They
cool.
taste nice.
They
Yeah,
they well, they taste nice. You just
they
eating
taste nice.
guns.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, eat lead.
Yeah.
And then the game mode. Some of the new game modes in the game are fun. I like Prisoner Rescue and Knockout. So if anything, those are like the two best parts of Modern Warfare 2. And I I don't know, man. It's just everything else is just kind of hit or miss.
I
I
I
mean,
think I think the core gameplay itself is really good, right?
mm,
I genuinely do. But the players in the game and just the way the game's naturally going to flow is awful, and a lot of the time.
yeah,
And I mean, I'm just saying now, right? I can't wait for the game to get left behind when Warzone 2 comes out.
I
I
know.
know there'll be stuff coming out, and there will be updates and stuff, here, there, whatever. But let's not pretend that all the focus is going to be going on Warzone 2 because it absolutely is.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
we basically just paid $70 for a Warzone 2 advertisement. I mean, it's honestly
like
crazy.
people go multiplayer to level up their weapons. Because by the way, loadouts are back in Modern Warfare, Warzone 2.
Right,
Yeah, like it's been leaked, but like
right.
it will be. And we knew that from the start because how are they going to market their skin bundles and whatever if they can't use them in Warzone as part of a loadout? You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
mean,
If they're
look,
not gonna if they're not gonna make like the whole like Black Ops 4 system, then how are they gonna do it?
yeah. And before you
So
go
that's
any
why they're
further with
doing it.
that, I have to just interject real quick and say this currently right now what we're going through with Call of Duty 2.0, okay? This is the exact saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And
Yeah.
that's literally what's happening right now with Call of Duty. You know, they're talking this big talk of bringing in this new age of Call of Duty, and everything's going to be super great, and everything's going to be super fantastic, and yeah, this is what's going to get everyone super hyped up, and then they just fumbled the football, and they make poor decisions, and they, you know, it just seems very desperate a lot of the times with all the things that are just happening right now in Modern Warfare 2. And then Warzone 2, instead of like taking a risk with it, you know, they're going to revert back to this Warzone loadout thing. And before previously they were saying there was going to be no loadouts in Warzone. So that was one of those things where
they said in the thing that there was gonna be no lot, but then everyone complained.
Yeah, and instead of taking a risk, and instead of actually making things different, to usher in a new age and to usher in, you know, something new and exciting, they're not. Now, I know DMZ is part of, you know, all of that. And honestly, DMZ is the last little thread of hope that I have right now. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 has been a mid-tier game, in my opinion. Like, overall, the collective package has been pretty mid-tier for me. And Warzone 2, I know normal Battle Royale is going to be the same crap that we had on Caldera. And DMZ, man, that's the only thing that I'm holding on to like sustain us for 2 years.
I think like it'll be fun, just like how Warzone was fun. I think like Warzone 2 is gonna be better than what we have with Vanguard and Caldera and stuff. I think it will be.
I hope so.
I think definitely there's a lot more going into this than there is with Vanguard, because I think as soon as like Activision seen Vanguard not performing well, they're like, right, okay, well, we can see the trajectory of this game quite early on. So let's just like focus on future endeavors or whatever. I think it will be good. I think for content, if you enjoy that style of content, if you like play like, because here's the thing, right? Like I would be a Warzone YouTuber, but I just don't have the skill to do it. Like I like, you get these people winning games every day. And how are they doing this? Whether it's with their VPNs or
well, they don't. Well, I mean,
they're using the skill-based matchmaking that's in the game that
Cronus Maxes, rat pedals.
I will say,
not
the skill-based
touching
matchmaking
grass
has been very generous to me. I've not had a game where I've been completely stomped on yet, but I know it's coming. It's around the corner at some point.
It is honestly quite amazing though how this SBMM works in this game. Like you will literally have one good game, and then your next 3 or 4 you're going up against FaZe. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then it also shows you this dichotomy, I guess you could call it, with the Call of Duty fan base, where, and we've talked about this on previous episodes of the podcast, where there's no middle ground anymore. They don't care about the middle Call of Duty guy anymore. It's either, hey, you want to camp and you know want me to hold your hand and want me to, you know, have all these safe spaces around the map for you to just, you know, have the lowest IQ gameplay possible. And at the same time, they encourage the try-hard culture of, well, maybe if you do really good in all of your games, you know, you got like bragging rights, I guess, that you beat somebody in a public lobby of a video game, and like, I can be like super competitive player. And it's like, man, if you want to be a competitive player, you got to get into the scene. You got to make a name for yourself in the scene.
Yeah, like it's
like, come on.
Like if here's the thing, right? Is if you're gonna play like comped or whatever you want to call it, competitive league play or whatever, you know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're going to be playing against really good players and stuff. But then you just got like a lot of people that take like just public matches so seriously, and I hear the argument all the time, right? Like, well, you know, like, you know, you got your tryhards and like, we call it a PE, like what you sports class. I don't know what do you call it? like
what PE
physical? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, we call it PE too.
Okay, or gym class.
Physical education. Right? Yeah,
physical
PE.
Education. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't call it gym class.
No, I mean you can call it gym class, but like
every TV show, every American show I've watched has lied to me, because they all say it's time for gym class. Time for dodgeball.
Where I went to school, we called it PE. So, I mean, maybe other parts of America don't call it PE and they call it gym class. I don't know.
Okay. Coming off topic of the name for physical education. Like, I remember that, you know, when people try too hard, other people would comment like, "Oh, you're trying too hard. Well, try hard, you know, whatever,
Mhm.
right?" But then it comes like, is it just a competitive mindset? Is it just because you want to win? Like, why wouldn't you want to try your hardest to win in a COD game? You know what I mean?
I'll tell
But
you
I
one
think
thing. I'll
I
tell you
think there's
one
a
thing,
balance.
but
Go
yeah,
ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
I just like I think there's a difference between physical prowess and a literal video game.
Oh,
Like
obviously, right? Oh,
when
but
when
to
when
some
you when you are
people,
in the schoolyard with uh,
there's it's not. Some people it's like
well, no,
like
here's the thing, right? Because esports and sports, they are competitive and they
yeah.
both demand their own level of commitment, mental level, physical level to a certain degree too. Like they do have their demanding things. Whether that demanding thing be sit on your ass for 12 hours a day and then,
Having your
maybe
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
slowly get unhealthier, whereas in, football or basketball or baseball, you're constantly moving and active and being healthy with your body. So whether it's on either end of the spectrum of what's happening with your health, that's okay. Anyways, but when you're talking about in a video game, the fake world,
Yeah.
to try to prove yourself in the fake world that I'm better than you, and you will never see those people ever again, just to me shows that it's like, dude, you need to go touch grass. Like you need to go outside. Like
Go
there's
touch
one thing
grass.
between, I'm really good at this video game and I'm gonna be toxic and I'm gonna be this like super try hard, whatever, and oh, I'm like the greatest thing ever, and like these weirdos who play the game, right? And
Yeah.
there's also a difference between what you were talking about, how you always had that one kid at PE. You always had that one kid. I'm gonna run faster than you. I'm gonna do this better than you. But the difference between that and a video game is that in real life, that kid who's like trying harder and pushing himself physically
Is
is
bettering
actually gonna
himself.
like get somewhere if that kid is learning discipline at an early age to push himself physically to become fitter.
You
Like
know what's even
there's like a
funnier?
there's like a difference there, you
But you know what's
know?
even funnier is the
Uh,
fact that now in COD you can't. No matter how good you do, you can only shit talk for like 2 seconds because you get booted into another lobby at the end of the match.
right. So it's like none of
So
it matters. None of it fucking matters in the video game world, which makes it even more pathetic and makes it more just like, dude, who the fuck cares? And the funniest thing is when you fuck with these people and you just,
yeah,
these people take it so seriously and you just make like stupid comments to them, how just angry and just like this knee jerk reaction that these people have to it, because quite frankly, a lot of these people don't have a lot going for them. Like they like the game is what they have going for them. A lot of
yeah.
these people are like so devoid of like an actual personality and meaning because a lot of
So
things have been stripped away from them in their lives and their society, that
they
they
get good at
go to
video games.
consumerism and they go to things to form their what they think is going to be their personality, and then it just consumes them. The consumer becomes the consumed. You are the product, as I explained in my video from the other day. So
I am the product.
it's so there's a difference between, there's always that kid at PE that's always fucking around like, oh, I'm faster than you, I can score more touchdowns than you or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, it's a different world. It's an absolutely different world. One of them can be actually good for you, and the other one is like, you need to go outside and
What
do
do you
what the
mean,
other kid is
Jason?
doing.
What do you mean? It's not good for me to sit and play Modern Warfare 2 for 10 hours a day, 17 hours a day,
Surprisingly
not going to
not.
school, not go to school, closing my curtains so I can't get sunlight coming in, keeping my room door shut so that I have no fresh air
No, I mean,
circulating in the room.
surprisingly not, man. I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
I can't believe that.
who would have
Living on a
guessed
straight
drinking
diet.
5 gallons of Mountain Dew and eating 10 bags of Doritos a day is really
Thing
bad for
is,
you?
how else am I supposed to get my double XP? Come
All
on.
right.
I do. The thing is, right? I've actually been quite annoyed. Like I've been looking because apparently it's just it's actually quite fucked with the Mountain Dew stuff, right? And for Call of Duty,
Oh, the codes are
XP,
on the
right?
fucking packaging and
It's
people
just
rip
like
them off.
it's like mine,
Yep.
mine. You don't have
Yeah.
to you don't have to pay for them to
Yep.
like activate the codes or whatever. Which like I thought was the thing with Monster, but maybe not. If I knew this, I would have just stole all the monsters back in the day for Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
But I
And
bought them because I thought, you know what? If I don't, then it won't activate or whatever.
I'm gonna
Um,
support my favorite game.
yes. No. So every shop in the in my where I live, there's no it's hardly any Mountain Dew first of all, right? But then you
Hmm.
got like all like the weird monster flavors and like a bunch of like other like
Yeah.
weird drinks and that, and like Prime and stuff as well, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
But with Mountain Dew, the only places that do them, they're just the standard ones. I'm guessing someone's stolen all the double XP ones because they just don't want to touch grass and they want a game all day.
The
I mean,
funniest one to me, dude, is like the Jack Links codes for the ghillie suit. Like you got to buy, or they want you to buy the biggest bag of beef jerky so that you have a chance to, get this ghillie suit operator. And the funniest thing is, because the codes are on the outside, all these like actual honest people who want to buy the beef jerky and like have a chance to win it are getting so fucked over. And then you have the scalpers who are taking pictures of all the fucking codes and selling them on eBay. So like they'll enter the code from the Jack Links or from the Mountain Dew or something like that. And they'll have the code that Call of Duty gave them from the Call of Duty website, and they'll auction them on eBay for like $40 or $50. And it's like it's funny, but it's like not at the same time, because it just shows you how, how just strange people are, really, is what it is.
And like, I don't know. I just want to steal my Mountain Dew codes. That's all I want to do. I don't want to sell them. I just want to use them all Modern Warfare.
You just want to steal them all, okay.
But the thing is, right, you know what's fantastic and I absolutely love? I love how as soon as I activate my double XP on Modern Warfare 2, I have no idea when it starts. Well, I know when it starts, but I have no idea when it fucking ends because there's no timer for it. And funnily enough, the double XP counts in the menu as well. So if you just can't load into a game for half an hour for whatever reason,
bye-bye token.
Yeah, bye-bye token, bye-bye. Yep. Or like, there's no
like horrible just mechanic that's been in the game since what, Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, I mean, like what a horrible thing, right? Like, how do I even describe it? It's on for half an hour. Each game lasts at least 10 minutes. You're only going to get like 2 games worth. Ideally, you could get at least 3.
Like 2.5, maybe.
Yeah, it's all about Activision and wanting their money and, wanting you to like, I don't know. It's just a bit.
Like they'll say, hey, you want some double XP? Well, you better like quickly get into the game, and time is of the essence, right? So that you can try to grind that out as quickly as possible. So then you can get back to playing the game as intended, which to them as intended is really slow at weapon XP. So you're constantly playing.
I don't know how much of South Park you've watched. I've watched like a fair amount, right? There's an episode where they're all playing like World of Warcraft or whatever, and they're grinding, and they're all like sitting in like Cartman's basement or whatever, right? Getting really like obese and like really sweaty and stuff, and like spots and all that, right? And they finally get to the max level on that, and then Cartman's like, they're like, now what? Now we enjoy the game. Now we play the game.
Now we enjoy the game.
Now we enjoy the game, and that's kind of what's happening. Because you don't need to go like guns and guns and guns and that to like actually unlock like your camos and your attachments and whatever, right? It's like, now we get to use the guns that we want, but the attachments that we want. Now we get to have fun.
Well, like,
and by that point, you're like, I don't want to play this.
The funniest thing is though, is like that's not even wrong. That's not even wrong. South Park ahead of its time.
The thing is, right, like, is I don't know, things that Modern Warfare 2 is a fun, like, like shooter tactical.
Modern Warfare is the most game of all time.
Modern Warfare is the most game of all time. It makes me appreciate like single player games and stuff a bit more, like old games like Outlast and stuff, because no matter what happens, nothing can change them games. They stay unless they do like a shit remaster, which is fair enough, but like old games like the core, they're like a piece of time. You know what I mean? Like they stay in that time capsule. Even like old COD campaigns and stuff. It's like I appreciate going back to them, just because like they're a bit of history. Like, they're just a good old piece of nostalgia. They're fun, and it's when they weren't so like greedy for money and trying to push stuff.
I mean, dude.
With campaigns not having any iconic characters, like
of course,
I got to be honest, I don't even know what I'm saying, because every campaign leading up to the fan favorite game, Call of Duty Vanguard, there's no iconic. There were no
iconic characters in Call of Duty. Yeah,
Who
man,
the fuck
it's crazy.
Is Frank Woods?
I don't know, dude. Price and Ghost. I mean, I don't know, man. Those guys just don't exist. I guess.
Don't know. We want listen, the only iconic characters they've clearly seen was Menendez and Rourke and Seraph. because those are the only characters that they would allow to let in their game. They weren't even that
And the
iconic,
Terminator.
and the Terminator, and King Kong and Godzilla, which is all canon in the Modern Warfare 2 timeline. Zombies is canon in the Modern Warfare 2 universe.
Oh, of course. Well, here's the thing. You know what's funny about that whole thing too, with like, what you're talking about, the appreciating the novelty of a single player game, or a game where you don't have to have a grind fest, or you don't have to, deal with other like idiot players. I feel like they had an opportunity this year for Spec Ops to be that extra game mode that's actually like pretty good. But I went ahead and I played the first 2 Spec Ops missions. I didn't even play the third one because I just wasn't interested at all. Yeah. The first 2 missions, dude, were just, I don't want to call them boring, but they were just pretty basic, just run of the mill. Like, this is what you expect from Call of Duty. This is the, it's another campaign mission, which I guess we should have probably seen that coming when they said in previous blog posts that Spec Ops is going to be a continuation of the campaign. So maybe we should have seen that coming, but maybe. Man, I just like, it just didn't sit right with me. And so I played the first 2 missions on stream, and after that I was just like, I'm bored. Like, the missions themselves aren't boring, but I'm just bored because like I've seen it before. It didn't really capture me that much, and now I'm really disappointed that that was something that I was looking forward to in Modern Warfare 2, a good Spec Ops potentially, and now they said they're going to be adding new Spec Ops missions to the game with all the seasons, and now I don't know if those are going to be good or not. I mean, they really got to do something crazy for this, and I don't know if the return of Makarov is going to do anything for that. I don't know if the post-launch story is going to have anything to do with Shepard, because Shepard's like gone underground or whatever. I don't know. A lot of questions right now. I mean, more questions now than I think we had before the launch, which is probably not a good thing. But yeah, especially one of those questions being how much content is going to be removed from the game too, because we also have Activision getting in some legal problems.
There's so much legal trouble.
Yeah, fucking Greenberg Hotel might be removed from the game because the real life location that they copy pasted into the game in the Netherlands said, "Hey, what the fuck is this?" we didn't tell them we could do this, and you see all these like people on Twitter astonished that, oh my god, you have to ask permission to use something in a game that is a real life location. Like, it's like, yeah, you think a Hollywood movie set walks in the middle of downtown New York filming an action scene with a bunch of guys with guns just randomly like, hey guys, now we're going to shoot the scene where we shoot everybody. Like, no, of course they're going to lock down streets. They're going to like do all that, right? And so it's like the same thing. It's same thing, but different for Call of Duty. Call of Duty developers have to go to the hotel. They got to get a private tour. They got to, talk to these people and get the legal shit sorted out first. And it's just amazing that you see all these people going, well, why do they have to ask permission? It's like, really? Like, I don't know. To me, it just seems like common sense. If you're going to put a real location in the game, you better ask permission to like do that. And then now there's a difference between putting the actual location of the game and then basing a location off. Like, okay, this is based off of Japan. This is based off of France, whatever. But then copy and pasting it, like literally putting it in the game, you got to get permission.
Yeah, I mean, if Call of Duty made a map of my house, I would be pretty upset. So I'm not blaming the hotel people for being upset as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just funny how like many issues, because they've also had it with like Grand Prix map.
Which used to be called Grand Prix. Now it's Crown Raceway, which since all the normal players didn't get to play it before the game released, and all these other Call of Duty people that were invited to these events, they got to play it. I don't know if anything changed from then to now, but that was another legal problem. Valdera's museum, a museum which I believe is based off a real museum in the real, maybe the Getty or something. I've never been to the Getty, so maybe it was something like that. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that map was in the beta, now it's just not in the game anymore. It's like, you guys got to get your shit together here.
One thing I like about I don't know, I just find it kind of funny is whatever that map, Grand Prix, Crown Race Gateway, whatever it's called, If you get killed by one of the cars that's moving, they actually have their own kill cams.
That is funny. I will say that is kind of funny.
So the game doesn't have leaderboards or stuff, but at least the cars have kill cams. That's pretty funny.
I know, dude. Like, no barracks, no combat record, nothing to actually like play for.
These are things that are going to get added. It just would have been nice if they were with the base game, because every other game.
That's not. To me, that's not. That's not an excuse at all.
It's not an excuse. No, it's not an excuse, right? It's not. It's like how Infinite Warfare, that game didn't have leaderboards at launch and stuff. It's like with every other game. Like, there's been like sometimes things missing in that. I think the only game in recent times that came with everything was Black Ops Cold War. I think.
Shocker.
I think, right? But okay,
I mean, Black Ops Cold War was a completed product and had a really good post-launch content season.
And they had the least amount of time.
It's amazing what Treyarch does. It's amazing.
Here's my thing, right? Is I think it's more an Activision than anything with a lot of these like problems. Because there's that leak from ages ago, or leak or whatever, like where Infinity Ward were like, we want to release all the content now. And then Activision are like, hold up, wait a second. Why don't we just scratch it out?
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Instead of releasing all the content at launch and having a really successful launch,
mm-hmm.
why don't we just milk? Why don't we just like milk it? I can milk you. Just drip feed it to them, guys. They love it. They love getting one map every 3 months. It's enough for them.
Yeah, that's what's ridiculous, man. I think this year is going to be the slowest drip-fed content cycle that we've ever had, honestly. Slower than Vanguard's, I'm afraid to predict. But I'm going to say it anyways, because the trajectory of how things are trending right now is not very good for us, the consumer.
I think with year 2, it's just going to be the remake maps, and then maybe the odd, like, occasional map here and there, and, like, weapons and stuff. I think, like, either or, the game is going to get a lot of updates or whatever. I think it's not going to have, like, that much of a change based to, like, what other COD games have. And, like, the standard. I don't think it'll be that, like, different, but I think it'll feel different. I think, like, if they're planning off having maps and, like, for Modern Warfare 2 for year 2 as, like, a big release package, like a premium package, whatever there, right?
Yeah.
My thing is, what maps are they going to have in year 1? Because if that's true, then there's not going to be any terminal. There's not going to be any, like of the popular Modern Warfare 2.
Or High Rise or Rust or anything like that.
Yeah, like, those maps won't be coming this year, if anything. If that whole, like, theory, whatever, is true. So, what are we going to get? Bog? You know what I mean? Are we going to get Bog?
Could you imagine?
We're gonna get them again. I mean, give us Crash. That was a good map.
Or Block, or like one of those fucking maps.
Block. Give us my favorite Call of Duty map. Block. It's such a good map.
Like, dude, I don't even know what the hell is gonna happen at this point. I mean, it's one of those things where I think a lot of people are kind of blindsided too by, you know, that they'll look at the success of let me rephrase that, the monetary success of Modern Warfare 2, and that it is now the most selling, the highest selling Call of Duty game in franchise history. I think people look at that and they'll be like, well, that just means the game is just that good. I mean, the game just must be so good, and, you know, people want to buy it. And it's like, no. You know, most of those people, I'm willing to bet, came from pre-orders, and because, you know, the marketing for the game was really good. I gotta give it to them. They had really good marketing this year. And they really tricked a lot of people. So it's one of those things where... Oh, and also another fact of the matter is that they paid an extra $10 this year for the game. So that'll adjust a little bit in how much money they've made. In addition to, you know, a lot of people are comparing it to these box office sales. Like, oh my God, it's going to outpace this movie. It's going to... Right?
It's going to outsell Morbius?
Tickets... you know what? Maybe
it's gonna outsell Black Adam. What?
It's my God, it's gonna outsell Sharknado.
God.
But man, you know, movie tickets are like what, $15-$16, and then the video game is $70. So
I mean, that's something to take in consideration. Someone did the math or whatever, and like if you take inflation into account, Modern Warfare 3 technically still is the best selling COD game for some reason. Like, even though like Modern Warfare 2 has more sales money wise, the value of whatever back then was then it's like a little different and stuff.
Mhm.
But
It
yeah,
is it is definitely different. Like I think that is definitely something to keep in
I
mind.
mean the game is priced like of course the sales are gonna be higher. The game's price is higher anyway.
Right.
Like gone are the days when like COD was like $50 like $60, and now it's like
Right.
70. I don't know. Something about that doesn't sit right with me. Seeing that
Well,
price,
it's
but here's the way it is.
it's
They know they
okay
can charge.
because we just have to buy it anyways and don't
Yeah,
think about it.
if you want to play it, you just pay that extra money, and you get less content.
Hmm.
It's great.
You know what's funny about that too is like they in a way kind of they planted that seed psychologically a couple of years ago with Black Ops Cold War. If you remember, for the people who play Black Ops Cold War or Vanguard for that matter, they did this for Vanguard on last generation hardware, you could pay an extra $10 and you if you end up getting a next gen console could transfer that over to your next gen console for that extra $10. So that's what I did. And so the last couple of years I've been paying $70 anyways. And, now I have Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard on my PS5. And now see, that's the difference between a worthwhile purchase and a worthwhile investment. So I don't have to pay to play the game all over again. And then this game where they're just literally like, okay, $70. And you could make the excuse of inflation. You could do that, right? But it makes it even worse this year that these games of year by year are just releasing more and more broken and
Oh
more and
yeah.
more just shit
I
that
mean, here's the
it's
thing,
not
right?
even just it wouldn't even justify the previous $60 price tag, let alone the $70 one now. And
I
it's just crazy to
I
think about.
I appreciate the crashing issues. I appreciate that I have not crashed once, which is
Lucky.
fantastic. But I mean, a lot of the crashing's happening on PC and Xbox, which I don't know.
I don't know, man. My
Is Sony
PS5, I
does
don't
Sony
know,
have a
man.
deal?
It's not that great on PS5 either, dude.
Maybe I don't play it for long enough, but I haven't had like a bad crash or anything just yet. But you've always
I'll
been
tell you.
cursed.
Okay, well, no. This time it's literally Modern Warfare. It's literally because these problems that I'm having, again, everybody else is having. I think when it came to my Vanguard problems, I think Vanguard just fucking hated the PS4 for some reason.
Yeah.
But like all the problems that I'm having on PS5 are like literally the day one problems that everyone's having, right? So, I'll tell you, I'll show you this one. This glitch was funny though. It was funny, but it's like, how the fuck? I went to the firing range and I wanted to join a party. And both the firing range and the friends list were open at the same time. So I could scroll through my friends list and walk around the firing range at the same time and shoot the gun and click all the buttons at the same time. And both things were active at the same time. And it's like, wow, how the fuck did this happen? And then all my friends went offline, even though they weren't. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can join them off the recent players tab. Nope, I go over to the recent players tab and all the recent players are just white boxes and my game freezes for like 30 seconds until a dev error pops up. And it's like, dude, how did we get here? How the fuck did we get here?
I think possibly it's a skill issue.
See, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, right. Well, here's the thing. Okay, right.
Dude, it's just fucked.
But I also appreciate how the snipers have never been better because they have zero flinch. And I don't think there's I don't
zero recoil.
Here's the thing, right? It's very similar to like Modern Warfare 2 sniping. It's very similar to Black Ops Cold War sniping. Like
it is.
Right, and I think it's good for people that enjoy sniping and want to use a sniper close range. It's much better than like Modern Warfare 2019 for sniping. But then and like in the same way, I don't know, man. It is a bit like fucked for anyone else trying to play the game.
Oh no,
right?
It's
but
fucked.
Then if you're not actually good with a sniper, how do I put it? It's like if you're really good with a sniper rifle, and then I'm okay with an assault rifle, I should probably still be able to just kill you before you get to me. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. With the low health in this game and that as well, like, you can pretty much two-shot people.
Yeah. Anyway. I mean, here's the thing. It's fucked because all the other weapons have weapon sway now, as opposed to, other Call of Duty games that haven't really had this idle weapon sway. And there's a lot of recoil for a lot of these
Yeah, that
rifles
is
and a
true.
lot of these
That's
SMGs in
yeah.
the game too, more so than other Call of Duty games. Plus Bloom is also in this game too, where I don't know why the fuck they're doing this, right? For a video game. Like, I kind of get it. Okay, if you actually want it to be a real life shooter, which I know Call of Duty desperately wants to be, but they just
It
can't.
needs to be it.
Um, you know, where like the bullet trajectory won't go straight ahead, it'll go like a little bit off to the side due to other factors like recoil and how you're controlling the weapon. And like, okay, I get it. That's kind of realistic in a way, but Call of Duty in the past has never been like that. So I don't know why the hell we're starting to do that now. And it just makes that problem more amplified, especially when you have this problem with the snipers, and the snipers have no recoil. All in all, dude, even if we're going to talk about it and point out the issues, they don't fucking care. Like,
Oh,
it goes
look at
back to what I said
Vanguard.
earlier about catering to both the camping, just brain dead play style, and the try hard, look at me, I'm MLG, because they know all the MLG sweats are gonna be using those snipers and being weirdos online. So it's like they don't fucking care. They're not gonna care.
One thing I don't like understand too much is you get all these like movement kings, right? Where like their movements like so good and stuff, but a lot of it just seems like they're YYing,
Oh, dude.
and I think I like, and don't get me wrong, sometimes their movement genuinely is good, like they fucking fly across a room or whatever, and then they get the other person, right? But I think some people think it's just a bit overkill, and like
It
the
is.
constant flicking of weapons and stuff, it makes it look a lot more like ooh, look what I'm doing compared to what it actually is.
Because
I think
it's pointless. It's pointless, and it's just something because I don't know if they have to like constantly be moving. I don't know if it's like they like psychologically condition themselves to the point where it's like no, like not moving something is considered bad or considered cringe or something when they're like being cringe by doing that. That it's the funniest thing in the world when you see all these people go, all weird and crazy with their guns, and then they like die 2 seconds later. It's
they
like,
get like
cool. What
they
was the
just get
point of
like
that?
shit on by like
It's
someone
like,
with a
what the
pistol.
fuck is the point of that, dude?
And
The
the thing
why
is,
whying
right?
is the funniest one though to me. It's like,
The thing
what does
is,
that
right?
do for you?
Like, I think these people are on the wrong game when Apex Legend exists. A game that's literally made
uh,
without like movement and stuff, and what you're able to do with like your character and that. Like, I don't know, and I don't fucking know.
you know
I
what,
don't
man?
know.
I think everyone just wants to play Apex Legends. They want to play Titanfall. They want to play Destiny. They want to play all these other games. Fortnite, especially Fortnite, dude. Oh my god.
I get like I want to imagine what the fuck would Black Ops 3 be like today. Multiplayer
Oh
wise.
no, dude. It would
I
be
think I think it'd be so like cursed.
it would be. No, it
Cause
absolutely would be cursed.
like yeah. Like people went back to Black Ops 3 for like a year just to play it. Like fuck. There'd be no hope.
There would be no hope.
Saying that, I don't think Black Ops 3 multiplayer's aged all that well.
It
Like
aged all right. I mean,
like
you know me. I'm not a fan of the jetpack thing, but I think out of all the jetpack games, Black Ops 3 did it the best. But like, I still prefer the boots on the ground thing. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just the Black Ops 3 multiplayer has always been just kind of there for me. Like
As
it's
time's gone on, and like before, I wouldn't say this. I think Black Ops 4 has a more better, like an enjoyable experience to
hmm,
like Black Ops 3. I think the one thing Black Ops 3
interesting.
has compared to it is the maps, and some of the guns are nicer. But and maybe actually no, the kill streaks as well. But I don't know. I enjoy the flow of Black Ops 3 Black Ops 4 multiplayer a bit more. Um I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's like boots on the ground. Maybe I don't like Exo moving that much. Um, I don't know. I feel like Black Ops 4 they really went for like an Overwatch type game, and like I didn't completely hate it.
Yeah,
If I'm
they
being honest.
definitely, back when Overwatch was like the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Remember when that
Yeah, like
happened for like a
we had to have
month?
our Overwatch, and then they were
Yeah.
like, nah, this Overwatch thing, nah, we need to go super. Rainbow Six Siege,
No,
Battlefield.
now we got to be Fortnite, and now we got to have battle passes, and now we got to,
I cannot wait for the next Call of Duty game to resemble that of Minecraft. Because they're like
dude.
open world survival game. You punch blocks, you build stuff.
Punch blocks. You have to build all of your guns from scratch. You have to get,
Building.
Dude, if building ever comes to Call of Duty the way it's in Fortnite, I would give up. I would just completely give up.
They've kind of not copied Fortnite because actually the original Modern Warfare 2 had this before any other game. With their multiplayer third person mode. Hey, I mean that kind of looks like Fortnite. It resembles it a lot.
I mean, I guess, but you can say that about every third person game mode. I mean, third person isn't exactly.
No, it's new territory. No game's ever done it before. Except
I'll admit that it's cool. I'll admit that it's cool that they do have third person mode in the game. It's one of those kind of knick-knack game modes that you'll go on and play once in a while. Okay, cool.
I think it'll die off quite quick.
But I was just about to say, it's not going to get the kind of traction that I think. Yeah.
There's a reason why, you can never find a lobby of third person in the original Modern Warfare 2. Yeah. I think, actually saying that, the fact that there's, not co-op, since there's cross-play and stuff now, that's going to help it a lot. So you should be able to always find a match.
Maybe a little bit.
But at the same time, it's a bit. I don't know. I don't imagine someone spending their whole gaming experience playing the third person mode. Imagine buying Modern Warfare 2 and be like, right, I'm going to play the third person mode and the third person mode only. I think it'll be cool for battle royale modes. I think they'll definitely have a third person mode. Just to experiment with. If it fucking runs, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the one thing I'm looking forward to the most is the proximity chat. That's still in the game.
Oh boy,
that's gonna be fun. I can't. Did you
for DMZ? See that? I think it's gonna be maybe.
Yeah, just making random noises when people are nearby. Mm-hmm. Just being goofy. Nah, man. Yeah, I don't know. Modern Warfare 2 in general multiplayer, it's fine. It's good. It's it's the core multiplayer experience, but stripped down, and so many things that you'd expect to have on day one are not there. And
yeah, no.
And the fact that they've made 800 million or whatever off this game is just going to double down the fact they're right, all these things that you're doing before, stop doing them. Stop adding in leaderboards. Stop adding in brackets. Stop. If it can't be monetized, don't do it.
Well, see, that's the thing, dude. No matter how much we bitch and complain about the game, and no matter what happens, they will literally not care at all, because
money.
As long as they make as much money as possible, they don't have an incentive to actually fix anything. And it's just, I don't know, there's a lot of people out there who are pointing out a lot of these flaws, and a lot of people who could easily fix very simple problems with the game, like the UI. And those people don't really see the light of day, or they won't be seen by the developers, or even if they are seen by Activision, they'll just completely ignore that instead of actually taking constructive criticism and feedback, because they're just being very pouty right now. And it goes back to what we had a couple weeks ago when Infinity War was like, hey guys, give us your feedback, and then they closed up like a clam after people gave them feedback. And it's
give us feedback, add in the proper minimap. No. Add in dead silence as a perk. No.
Which it's just
all
crazy.
The feedback. The thing is, I think it's fucking. They're not gonna add in dead silence as a perk, and it's just a fact. They're not. Never. It's done. They fingered it so hard in Modern Warfare 2019, and they're just not going to. We're lucky we even have a mini map at this point, because again we know how desperately they don't want that in the game.
True.
Because they don't. So. I mean, we're forgetting that the original build of Modern Warfare 2019 didn't have a minimap in it. It just didn't. And then they added it in because people were complaining. So
history repeats itself, man.
Just use your compass. Use your compass.
You use a real life compass and find
your way and go touch some grass.
Oh man. Yeah, go find your way into a field, touch some grass, go on a hike, drink some water, do something productive.
You don't. You don't have to drink G Fuel.
Yeah, you don't have to drink G Fuel every day, or Mountain Dew, or Red Bull or Monster or any of these gamer juices.
Yes, believe it or not, Red Bull isn't a perfectly balanced breakfast.
I know, right?
It's shocking.
Fucking Honey Nut Cheerios with Red Bull in it instead of milk. That's not an actual breakfast, guys.
That's not good for you. That's not good for your body.
Oh man. But hey, you know what? That's the Modern Warfare 2 launch, everybody. I mean, things were I don't know, pretty hit and miss, I guess you could say. Pretty underwhelming, pretty disappointing. There are some good things about the game, but there's a lot of bad right now, and I think I can speak for a lot of people right now who aren't really speaking up right now, because you see a lot of people go, "Well, Modern Warfare 2, like you said earlier, this is a top 5 game. This is a really great game. Why is everyone complaining?" Right? And then, in reality, a lot of these people are just saying that to stay in good graces. I'm just saying, but you know, I think we can speak for a lot of these people out there who are just very, very just disappointed in the game, I guess. I mean, it's crazy to think about that Call of Duty has fallen this far from grace, and I don't know. I'm not super confident in Call of Duty 2.0 after this launch here for Modern Warfare 2, and yeah, it might only go down from here. And I hope I'm wrong. And I hope they do pick themselves back up. And I hope they do fix things. And I hope Call of Duty 2.0 turns out to be good. But not off to a good start. Not off to a good start. But hey man, before we wrap things up here for episode 108, what do you got to say about all this craziness?
I just gotta say, hey, Warzone 2 is coming in like a week, so so I guess that'd be the end of Modern Warfare 2. Thank you for playing. Thank you for paying the $70 trial.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I mean the game. It will be the shortest lived game because of that fact, and I think a lot of people aren't. I think a lot of people aren't taking that into consideration. I think you're right about that. But yeah, guys, what do you guys think about Modern Warfare 2? What do you think about Warzone 2? What do you think about the camo grind, the controversy, the anything that we talked about today about Modern Warfare 2? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. We'll see. But right now we're just getting a whole, history repeats itself. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Like, insert generic quote here about, things being not as great as they could be. But yeah, anyways, really appreciate you all for watching this episode of the podcast. Feel free to check out all the links down below in the description so you stay up to date with everything that we do. And with that said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in this crazy world. It's been Jason and Mr. K Cosmic here, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.